angry guy here, and men are rejecting women to live happier, healthier lives. Guys, if you're enjoying my videos, please help get this channel to 100,000 subscribers by clicking on the subscribe button if you already haven't done so, liking the video, and turning on notifications to never miss another video ever again. Now let's begin. So, men are rejecting women to live happier, healthier lives. And I've talked a little bit about the subject before. Shout out to the Chow Time podcast. He actually did a video on the video where I originally discussed this video, and I'm going to link you to the description so you can go ahead and check out his video and listen to his feedback regarding what's happening. However, women are living shorter lifespans. Women are actually living shorter lives right now. It's something that's very concerning. It's happening predominantly with millennial women and Gen Z women. We'll look at that article first, and then we'll look at the article illustrating how men are living longer lives, and we'll go into some of the details why this is actually happening. But it's very intriguing, and it's understandable. So here we can see that U.S. millennial women are now more likely to pass away in their late 20s and early 30s than any generation since the WW2 era. So basically, women born in 1928, and the rates of women being deleted, maternal mortality rates, and rates of women of self deletions have all increased for women ages 25 to 34. Not only that, women of African American descent, they are being deleted at they are being deleted at rates faster than any other group of women. This is absolutely insane stuff. It found that women born between 1981 and 1999, widely classified as millennials, have seen the first drop in well-being since the silent generation as they live through young adulthood. So these women are also falling into increased rates of poverty, destitution, loneliness, despair. It's extremely significant. And as we can see here, maternal mortality rates, rates of deletion, and rates of self-deletion are soaring. The actual words is soaring. It's absolutely massive. And this is affecting millennial women and Generation Z women, which is, it's sad, but it's also understandable when you consider everything that's happening around us, the very poor choices that a lot of these individuals are making in life, and the fact that men are walking away from Western society. And I've said this before, and I will say it again. When men abandon a society, you no longer have a society. What you are left with is a wasteland. It's a place that no one wants to live in, and it is ripe for the pickings. And I've illustrated this already. Countless times, that when it comes to relationships in Western society between men and women, there's no going back. There's no Hail Mary pass. Men are never going to walk this back. You literally have white men and black men who are absolutely choosing not to marry women of their own race anymore. Men, it's so significant. Black men are refusing to marry black women. They're going overseas, and many of them are literally not saying, okay, well, I want to find a black woman in, let's say, Colombia or somewhere in South America or Africa. No, they're literally steering clear of black women, and the same is happening with white women. White men are deliberately avoiding marrying white women, even from Scandinavian countries. It's really extraordinary. Just in the United States alone, while Asian women only make up 8.2% of marriageable women, and like I said, this is voodoo mathematics. Uh, White men are who do marry, basically marriages between white men and Asian women make up 25% of all marriages between white men and a woman. So Asian women are absolutely overrepresented at this point. And what this tells us is that more and more white men are literally choosing to either they marry an Asian woman, or they marry a woman of another ethnicity, or they don't marry at all. So they are deliberately avoiding marrying white women, and it's so significant. It's absolutely significant. We're seeing this behavior occurring as well overseas when they become passport kings. They grab their passport, they leave the United States or Western society, and they go overseas. They're doing the exact same thing over there. They're also refusing to marry women of their own race, and it's because of the poor treatment that men have received in Western society why they are doing this. Now, in addition to that, when we look at how men are living and how long men are living, we're actually finding that men who are avoiding relationships are actually beginning to live longer lives. So, why men are living longer? The life expectancy of British men is rising faster than nearly any other nation in Europe. A major survey reveals that in the past 20 years, Britain has risen from 10th place to inside of the top five in a league of life expectancy. British men can now expect to live longer than those in France, Denmark, Spain, and Greece. However, the good news only applies to half of the population and the well off. So, as well as showing that Britain is catching up with its traditionally more healthier neighbors, the survey shows a stark social divide in the UK. So, better off men revealed to be healthier than ever before, pushing the average life expectancy of all males up to almost 76 compared to just more than 72 decades ago. However, men in lower income groups can expect to live little longer than they did 30 years ago. And it means that if this figure is broken down by class, Britain has the biggest divide of any European nation. What's occurring here is that as more men are choosing to prioritize themselves, not getting married, not having children, folk and avoiding jobs that have high mortality rates. For example, jobs like construction that wear down your body and the chances of passing away while doing that job are high. As men are avoiding these jobs, they're working fewer hours, they're taking on less stress, and because they're not marrying or having children, they're able to save more, bank away more money. That is literally resulting in their lifespan increasing. They've said for decades now, they could not figure out why is it that women live so much longer than men, because even if you adjust for a variety of factors, it still shouldn't be that high. Well, we're beginning to figure it out, because when men stop working these terribly long hours, when men stop taking on large amounts of stress, when men are focusing on their own well-being, so they don't have to worry about children, they don't have to worry about a wife that is nagging them at home, a wife that is making their life hard. Come on, what do you think is going to happen? Their well-being increases, their happiness increases. As their wealth increases, there is definitely a correlation between wealth and happiness. While wealth cannot buy happiness, it can facilitate it. And as you can see, as a man's income increases, as his disposable income increases, so does his happiness. Now, you have to realize that it's not so much about having a massive amount of money in the bank, more so it's having disposable income available to you and being able to live a higher quality life without the constant strains and burdens that come with being in a relationship or having children. And this is not me saying that you should not have children, but you have to be very, very mindful of what comes with that. In many cases, the honest to goodness truth is that most men are happier raising children by themselves and much more capable of raising children by themselves, because men are problem solvers and men will find a way to balance their life in such a way that they can take care of their children while also earning an income. Women are expensive. This is something that, we don't talk about as much as we absolutely should in Western society, but we absolutely need to talk about it. The cost of being with a wife is very expensive. When you're raising your children, you raise those children, so you set expectations. To be very honest with you, modern women are not fit for marriage, and they're not fit to raise children. Even if they are doing it, it's not for them. if you look at videos from Filipinas, they say some very intriguing things. For example, when they clap back at women in Western society that are trying to shame them for, being wives and mothers, sometimes they let certain things slip. For example, they say, here's the thing, if I'm making a meal for myself, why is it that much harder to make a meal for my husband? This doesn't make any sense. And Soraya, I've featured many of her videos. She's talked about this before. She said that the very basics of making a meal for a man is not something to be overly celebrated. Oh, I cook and I clean. Yeah, lady, those are the very basic things that you're supposed to be doing as a woman. Even if you're not with a man, you're supposed to be able to cook and clean. You have to understand that modern day women don't want to cook, they don't want to clean, they really just want to lay around and be pampered and taken care of. They want to live soft girl lives. And this is the reason why they're saying that they're entering into their soft girl era, because they don't want lives of responsibility, accountability, or consequences. And now that they're getting older, they're trying to turn around and find a simp that's going to subsidize their living as they ride off into the sunset. Although it's not going to be all hunky dory, because eventually they will return back to the streets, because it is from the streets that they came, and it is to the streets that they shall return. Guys, if you're enjoying this content, please help get this channel to 100,000 subscribers by clicking on the subscribe button if you already haven't, like the video, and turn on notifications to never miss one of these videos ever again. Men are rejecting women to live happier, healthier lives. Let me know what you guys think regarding this in the comments, and we'll talk about it there. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away. And cheers.